Welcome to the Simplify Science lecture for biology. This is 9.2, Get It Together. I have a quote from Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. I think that's really interesting overlaid with the picture of the ants there. Our learning goals here, students will be able to maintain homeostasis, certainly we hope, and then to be able to explain the interactions between organ systems. We already know that cells make up tissue, that tissues make up organs, and organs make up organ systems, and organ systems make up the organism, and that the cells maintain themselves through a series of biochemical pathways. What we learned in the lab, organ systems are specialized. Organ systems interact to make each other stronger, and problems with one system can cause problems in another system. So we have this word, homeostasis. So from the Greek homeo, which means of the same kind, and the Greek stasis, meaning standing still. Homeostasis is the same kind of standing still. It's a way that we keep returning to the same way we were. It's a way that we try to stay the same when everything keeps changing. We're constantly on the edge. If we think about temperature, enzymes stop functioning, and that can become lethal for us above 106 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 41 degrees Celsius, an internal temperature for our body. Our heart will start to malfunction, and that can become lethal with us if our internal body temperature goes less than 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 27 degrees Celsius. Our normal internal body temperature is about 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit-ish, or 36.9 degrees Celsius. That's not that wide of a range. There are many variables in the human body, like temperature, that we're very sensitive to. Too far of a push one way or the other, and we'll die. So whenever something happens that changes us, systems are in place to try to get us back to normal. We don't want those changes. Change is bad. In many ways, the body's just trying to try to stay the same as it is, trying to maintain. If we think about an example, the school is trying to maintain a comfortable temperature inside. It has to keep working to maintain that. Let's say the school thermostat is set at 75 degrees Fahrenheit. During the summer, when the school gets hot, the AC is activated to lower the temperature, get it back down to 75. But during the winter, when the school gets cold, the heating is activated to raise the temperature and get it back up to 75. So we go through these loops, these feedback loops. A negative feedback loop would be an example of, let's say your body gets too hot. Your body reacts and you sweat. This keeps happening until your temperature comes down. Or your body gets too cold. It reacts. It activates shivering. This keeps happening until your temperature comes up. Whenever your temperature comes up, you stop shivering. We refer to it as a negative feedback loop because it's trying to reset something. It's trying to stop something from happening. A positive feedback loop would be trying to start something. So for example, during growth, we would want to actively start the release of growth hormones. We don't want growth hormones to stay the same. We want them to change because we shouldn't be growing for the rest of our lives. That would be problematic. Let's do a developing question. You can pause and think. Do bacteria have to maintain homeostasis as well? Sure they do. They need temperatures that they can, they need to react to different temperatures. They have water levels that they need to have, different levels of salts. They still need to be within the right range that they can tolerate. A proficient question. Give another example of a positive feedback loop, and give an example of a negative feedback loop. So there are actually tons of right answers to this and lots of different directions you could go. So an example of a positive feedback. So in a positive feedback loop, we want to enhance whatever it was happening. We're trying to make more things happen. A good example would be blood clotting. Whenever we have damage to our body and there's a cut, what we want to do is make something happen. We want to make the clotting things activate and do more and more clotting. We want that to happen until we're done with it. Then we'll stop. In the case of a negative feedback loop, that's something that we want to reduce whatever that stimulus was. So maybe I end up dehydrated. I feel thirsty. I need to drink water. I feel overly hydrated. My excretory system wants to get rid of the water. I have a set water level I want to maintain. The mastery question. Do the deep sea corals that live on the ocean floor have the same kind of methods to maintain homeostasis as humans do? Well, some was the answer. Some, but not all. They go through some of the things we do, like they have to deal with damage and repair and growth, but they also have some things we don't have to do, like because they live deep at the bottom of the water with all of that water there, their temperature is highly stable. They do not have mechanisms to deal for changes in temperature like we do, because it's not a challenge that they have to face in their environments. Okay, let's do a quick review of the body systems that we see in animals. This should be real fast because this should not be the first time that we're studying this. We'll talk about what the basic purpose is, a diagram of it, and then a real picture from a dissection. The muscular system, the purpose is locomotion. It gives us the ability to move and to travel and to react. The skeletal system is a structural component. It gives us physical structure and allows attach points for the muscles to fix to so that we have ability to keep standing. The nervous system. The nervous system is all of our senses. It's a stimulus. It's how we receive information about the outside world. And then it's how we take that information, process it in our brain, and then send new instructions out to specific groups of cells. They're specifically targeted to run down a very specific nerve to a group of cells to make them do one thing. Now, I mentioned that it's specifically targeted because the endocrine system is also in the business of sending out instructions. Except my endocrine system, which is made out of all kinds of different little organs all over the body. We have the pituitary gland, which is lodged deep inside of our skull. We have the thyroid gland and the thymus glands, adrenal glands, the pancreas, and then males and females have testicles and ovaries, which are also endocrine. Now they release hormones, and hormones send signals out that are meant for the wide body to be received. Our circulatory system helps out by distributing those hormones, and all kinds of cells will see that hormone signal, and lots of different cells can react to it at once. So the nervous system sends a specific command to specific parts, but if you wanted to tell, say you're an infant, and you need to tell all of the cells in your body to reproduce and to grow, you don't want to send a nerve command down every single nerve to every single cell. It says grow, 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 grow. My endocrine system can release a hormone that all of the cells will see as the circulatory system brings it back, and they'll go, oh, grow. The respiratory system is about the gas exchange. Our lungs will exchange carbon dioxide and oxygen. The integumentary system, it's a very fancy word for skin. My skin serves a couple functions. One of them is protection. It protects things that I want to keep out from getting in, and vice versa as well. But it's also regulation. It helps keep things normal. My digestive system is about acquiring nutrients. There's a fair amount of organs that work together to do that. My circulatory system is about distribution. The circulatory system is about transporting all kinds of things all throughout the body, whether it's nutrients, whether it's oxygen, whether it's the endocrine hormones, whether it's immune system, transport. The excretory system is all about waste disposal, but it also maintains the osmotic pressure in our blood, meaning make sure it has the right amount of water and takes in and out the right amounts. The reproductive system is about procreation. That's where we go through the process of meiosis to generate gametes to carry on our genetic lines. Then we have the lymphatic and immune systems. These are interesting because they're all really distributed, especially my immune system. It's carried through my circulatory system. But it's about protection, it's about defense, it's about the removal of foreign material. We'll get into those real fast. Here's a summary of the systems, the organs that are involved in that system, as well as their function. Give you a second to really take that in. Now, what makes an organ system is those organs are working together to accomplish one job. But all those jobs have to be accomplished together in order to keep us alive. So there's an interaction between organ systems. For example, we're talking about our homeostasis example of temperature. We go through a process called thermoregulation. It's exactly what it sounds like, thermo-heat regulation to control it. How many body systems have to work together for thermoregulation? Okay, well, the nervous system first receives information from the sensors in our skin to the brain. For, in our example, it's hot. So we're getting, the nervous system is getting a signal that, hey, there's a lot of heat out here. The nervous and the endocrine system, the hypothalamus gland sends out info through the nervous and the endocrine system, alerting instructions all throughout the body. The integumentary system responds to those instructions and activates sweat glands. The circulatory system responds to both the nervous and the endocrine signals by dilating the blood vessels to let more through, and by increasing the heart rate so that we can get a higher throughput. The respiratory system responds to both the nervous and the endocrine system instructions by increasing the breathing rate. Look at all those things going on. All those things happening just to try to get, it's hot outside, let's cool down a little bit. We have lots of different organ systems in a coordinated effort to try to get it all to work together. But it is an imperfect system, as is our world. It doesn't always work. And when it doesn't, we suffer ill effects, illnesses, diseases, infections, a variety of problems. The body seeks to reverse this balance to maintain homeostasis, and if the problem can be fixed, then health is restored. Let's answer a developing question. What would happen if one organ system was damaged? Not only would it not be able to perform its function very well, but in the interaction between organ systems, the entire organism would suffer as a whole. The organism would try to repair it. If it was irreparable, then we would suffer some kind of disability and maybe harsher effect. Okay. What organ systems work together when you're breaking away to head toward the basket? Well, obviously we have the nervous system, which is collecting information through our eyes and through our feelings and sending information to the muscles to get our hands and our feet to coordinate, which are also attached to the skeleton system, which is providing the support for the movement to happen. Our respiratory system needs to respond in order to increase our breathing rate to make sure we have plenty of oxygen to those muscles. And my endocrine system is going to react as well by releasing adrenaline, which is going to go out through the entire body and let everything know that things are happening and get ready. How, in this mastery question, does the interaction of organ systems further explain the advantage that multicellular organisms have over single-celled organisms in complex environments? Pick an example. Use the CLEAR method to justify your response. Remember, CLEAR means to state a claim, decide what evidence is going to be necessary to back up that claim, and then really provide the reasoning that explains to us how that evidence is sufficient to back up the claim. Pause and write some. So by working together, they're able to accomplish a much wider variety of tasks. They're able to tackle obstacles they wouldn't be able to do separately, and they're able to find niche environments they can survive in that other generalists wouldn't be able to.